Hi, Geek Cross. Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I'm a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with a comeback reaction that I have been waiting for a very long time and I'm very excited for. And we will be reacting to Cravity, my babies.
Yes, so Cravity is back today with a new song called Gas Pedal. Obviously, we have watched the teasers in advance leading up to this, and if anyone has watched our channel recently, y'all know that these are Peyton's new adopted K-pop children. That being said, let's go! Red and black.
What?
Oh.
That's a really cool shot.
What's in the background?
It's like scanning.
Oh, it's like the video games, but I forgot the word for it, the name of it. Oh, I like the bass in this part. Oh!
Whoa!
Oh, when they say gas pedal, do they mean like accelerator? Floor it.
Yeah, like let's go.
What is that movie? The one that is like the motorcycle racing, but it's like futuristic.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah. I can't think of the name of it right now.
I like saw the teasers and I thought of it too, but I forgot to look it up. Yeah.
Wow,
the side,
that was a really cool switch.
I was gonna say the side in the background literally says Nail Soul. Oh, that's cool. Oh?
It's like a throwback to the My Turn choreography.
Oh, it is?
Right there, like that section. Oh! They look so cool.
Oh, really? What is that in the air?
What is happening? What?
Oh, the virtual world is like...
They look so cool. I've said before in other reactions, because like we said at the beginning, these are my new K-pop children and I take every opportunity I can to talk about them in any video possible. But I've said before that their duality is a lot because they do these concepts and I feel like they pull off these cooler concepts really well. But then I think about how they are off stage and I'm like, oh, but they're so cute. But like they look really cool in the music video and their performance is really what sells it. Like they have really good expressions and they have a lot of style with their movement because this dance is very stylized. And in dance, what that means is basically like you've gotten to a level in your dancing where you can take take the more like traditional way of doing movements that you learn in like a classroom setting, and you're able to manipulate them and make them more stylized, like have a little bit more shoulder as you lean, or a little bit more of like a separation in your isolations, but you're able to do it without losing the technique behind it because you're at a more advanced level. And this is very stylized, and that style is what gives this dance its overall feeling, which is kind of a little bit dangerous actually, which is one of the reasons it also feels cool, because it's kind of like a little bit like, oh, what's gonna happen? Because the dance overall, it's a little bit more restrained, and then it has moments of explosion. And so it was making me think of like racing movies when they gear up at the starting line and then take off. And obviously the takeoff is after the gas pedal part. But one thing I found really interesting, especially in the verses and in the bridge, they leave space between their movements. Like they actually let you read their movements. The way the choreography's been made, it's not trying to pack in something on every single beat, like every single and in between every single beat. And I really liked that because it kind of lets you like process it, and it almost lulled you into this false sense of security, so that then when they did take off, it was like, what? It was really good. There was a lot of dynamics in this, basically. TLDR of that whole section, there was a lot of dynamics in this. But just a couple of things that I wanted to point out, like detail things that really stuck out to me. The first was there's just a lot of little movements in this, like little detail movements to match lines that will appear in the background and then fade away. And it's usually like a hand movement or an extra like hip thrust. Wow, that's weird to say. But my favorite little detail was their hands, because especially when they do the gas pedal part, they're not gripping. They're out like this. And it's like you're holding a motorcycle, like you're turning it whenever they do like the punching gas pedal. I thought that was really interesting, and it really stuck out to me right from when I saw it in the teaser. Also, the slowly part, like when they go ton-tani and then they do a hinge backwards, I was like, my heart. The dynamics there, the technique there, amazing. But yeah, I could talk about how great the dance is for a really long time, so I will move on. The music video also was really cool. I really liked how the effects in the music video matched what they were singing and what they're doing in the dance. Like the bridge was especially impactful because they're in the dance scene. The CGI in the back as it's building up and down is matching what they're doing in the dance, because they're sort of like flowing through the dance. It just like really stuck out to me. I think I gasped in that moment and then couldn't get words out because I was really overwhelmed the entire time we reacted. But also in the bridge, Kangmini did a high note. They like did the harmonized high note, and I was so proud because like we all know that Woobin does high notes in all of the Gravity songs, but Kangmini, wow, I'm so proud. That was like one of his goals. And I mean, I'm just proud of all of them, honestly. I'm so proud. Even from when they finished their Bad Habits like B-side promotions to now, you can see the improvement because of hard work. And I'm just like, I love it. I love you all. Okay, Anna's turn.
Hello, so now it is time for my comments. I guess the first general thing that I'll say is, if we're to directly compare it to their most recent title track release, I do prefer this one. The most obvious reason being that there is way more singing in this, and also just overall as a song, it's a lot more melodic. To talk about specifics in the song now, from the very beginning, I was like really intrigued because I like the sort of falling percussion that you hear in the beginning, and like the opening line that you hear, that synth line is the common theme throughout the rest of the song. The only time it doesn't really play is like pre-chorus, kind of the bridge. It is a descending line, but I think the way that it's played is really interesting because it's like connected to each one, that sort of falling feeling, like sinking feeling, and you hear the pitch like sinking. So it's like, once again, sort of like a bounce, drop, duh, drop, drop sort of feeling. So I think that's really cool when you consider like what their whole storyline, I guess, for this music video is. They're in this like virtual world video game, I don't know, but at the end scene you see that it's kind of like starting to fall apart, which is like the sort of sinking feeling. Pre-chorus, I really like the vibe switch up of the pre-chorus, just because the style that they switch into is just like a music style that I typically enjoy. Peyton has the smile on her face like, yes, my children are winning you over.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, yes.
I think I might have had some sort of reaction when we were watching the music video, but the transition from the first pre-chorus into the first chorus really caught me off guard. There's that like one sound in the background, the like drew sort of thing. The timing with the swerve, specifically leading into the beginning of the chorus, something about that is different than when it happens later in the chorus. One thing is that the sound is louder at the entrance of the chorus, but also I feel like the timing is slightly off. Not off like wrong, but off like different. different from when it is later in the chorus, that sound sort of drowns out the entrance of the swerve. Like the word swerve, which threw me off because like obviously there's been the moment of silence in the transition between the pre-chorus to the chorus, so that it's like building up the anticipation for when it finally enters with the swerve. That's the only time it happens, because like that little section of interlude transition between the pre-chorus and chorus doesn't happen in the second pre-chorus to second chorus. Also, just general thing about the chorus, it's pretty short. The chorus also has singing in it, which was nice, because I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's just like, oh, singing in the pre-choruses and the bridge, and then everything else is like spoken sort of rap, whisper again, which by the way, y'all know that I don't really like whispers, but like I think I didn't mind it as much this time in the chorus because it was mixed with all of the singing. Peyton's making that face again. But going on in order of the structure of the song, after the second chorus, they have the bridge, and then they have a chorus again. After that chorus, they have a sort of, I hesitate to call it an outro, because there is like a separate section after that. So I'm like, is it a second bridge? Because there are songs that have 2 bridges. So maybe a bridge 2, and then they have like a variation of the chorus for the ending of the song. Another thing I found really interesting is like, it doesn't get super high intensity in this song, because it starts out so low, and then like usually the chorus would be like, boo, in your face, but the swerve, like the whispered swerves, really bring it back down. So it's sort of like the song is just like building this anticipation the whole time, or based on the music video, sort of this like sense of foreboding, because like you start out, I'm sorry, I don't know all their names yet. Who's the one that's like connected to all the cables and the wires?
Serim.
So you start out like early on in the music video seeing Serim set up like that, connected to all these wires, which is kind of like, oh, it could be futuristic, but the look on his face is like, no, something's wrong. So you get that feeling throughout the entire rest of the song, just like kind of being here. Alright, but those are all of my comments. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it seems like I didn't like it, but I actually did really enjoy it. I think
I didn't get that feeling.
Okay. I think it's because my energy and vibes are so like, compared right after you're like, oh my god, my children, I love them.
But oh my god, my children, I love them! Can I TLDR?
Of course.
Okay, so TLDR is Gravity is back with their new release, Gas Pedal, off of their first full-length album, which is super exciting. Congratulations! And yes.
We never mentioned what movie it reminded us of.
Oh, it reminds us of Tron. I'm so proud. And it started winning Anna over, so I'm even more proud. In typical Gravity fashion, they look super cool. They've done something a little bit more dark. Yes. A little bit more dangerous, a little bit more foreboding, and it seems to be setting up a storyline for what's to come in the next releases, so let's get those out soon.
Does this mean there's going to be a repackage?
Probably.
That being said, if you would like to talk with us more about this release, about this album, about Gravity, our socials are always open and they're linked in the cards. And as always, if you enjoyed this reaction video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!